Greetings and salutations to you all once again. It is me, the Ravenous Spectre. You like that t-shirt? Vincent from Final Fantasy VII. Pretty badass, eh? Yeah, greatness. Anyways, kind of started this video off a little cheery, with good reason, because this is pretty much going to be another rant video. But it's going to be a rant video that is actually of significance. Sorry, I thought something was about to fall back there. I stacked some stuff up over there. I thought it was about ready to fall off on the floor. Had to make sure it wasn't, so I'm making a loud bang in the video. But here's the deal. I ended up getting a game today. It was called Lichdom Battle Mage. I think it's pronounced Lichdom or Lichdom, something like that. It's L-I-C-H. I think it's Lichdom, something. But anyways, this game came out on PC. I don't know when it came out on PC. But I actually ended up getting it off of Steam, like dirt cheap one day, because I really wanted to try it out. I forgot what the original price was, but I really wanted to try it out. So I went ahead and purchased it and tried it out, and thought it was pretty sweet. And I played a little bit of it. And then I realized it was coming to console, and I was like, you know what, I definitely want to go ahead and get this on PS4, because I wanted to utilize all the PS4's features and things of that nature, so I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and get it on there instead. Now, once again, I ended up getting this game like really cheap on Steam, so it really didn't break the bank for me or nothing like that. But then you're going to laugh at me and be like, you're a freaking idiot because of the price that you bought Lichdom Battle Mage on the PS4, which was $50. But anyways, we'll get to that. Here's the deal. I went to go get it today. Went and bought it. It was $50 like I mentioned. Brought it home, started it up, and the load times are absolutely atrocious. I mean, they are long as shit. The frames per second was shit. There was lag in it like you wouldn't believe. And the motion blur didn't make it any better. That's for sure. If there's one thing I can't stand in games, it's motion blur. If I have the option to turn motion blur off, I am turning it off. I can understand if it gets used in a cutscene to try to bring some type of cinematic pizzazz or huzzah or pizzazz or pissass or whatever the hell you want to say. I can understand that. But the thing is that this pissed me off to no end. I do not know why there was not a day one patch for this thing. Even then, I'm still pissed off that there has to be day one patches for these games, because these game developers won't pull their heads out of their asses and actually create a product that's whole when it's released. I don't understand why this game, which, okay, let me reiterate myself. From what I read, there is a patch that's coming. As of right now, there's not a patch, but apparently the developers are getting a patch up and running as soon as possible, which is good because it needs it, because if not, I would never buy another game from them ever again, because who's to say that they won't do the same shit with a future title? And it's like the old saying goes, fool me once, shame on me, or, yeah, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you, something like that. Anyways, but the fact is that they would end up losing me as a customer, and as a developer, you should realize, developer, publisher, whatever, you're going to end up losing customer base if you put out shitty-ass products like this, especially at $50 fucking dollars. $50 now, I get something that doesn't even work worth a shit. Now, when you see it, like everything that I just mentioned about that game, when you see it on a big screen, it almost made me go cross-eyed. It kind of made me get a little bit dizzy and almost sick. And I was reading some other comments on some forums on like Game FAQs and like another forum, and they were saying the exact same thing that I was saying, the exact same way how I felt. I said, you know what, fuck this. I can't even play this game until this thing is patched. I can't. And see, that brings a whole other thing about day one patches into play here. I don't understand how developers can get it through their head that not everybody in the world is going to have fast internet. Not everybody in the world is even going to have internet. If you actually open your mind and actually realize out there that some places have really slow internet, and people living in those areas can't help that. And some people don't even have internet in their areas, and they can't help that either. If they either don't have it or it's just extremely slow. You know, I mean, and if a game needs a day one patch, they're fucked. They pretty much spent $40, $50, $60, whatever, they're fucked. They can't even patch the game to get it to work properly. What would happen if I ended up living in an area that had no internet or really slow internet, and I went and got this game and was excited to play it? I'd be fucked. I'd have to go somewhere or have a friend or a family member, someone that ended up having internet, take my system over there, download the patch whenever it becomes available, because it's not available yet, in order to be able to just get the thing to work. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. You know, it seems to me like they're not taking their consumers in mind here. They're not thinking about the trials and tribulations and things that they have to go through to be able to make these things work. All they want to do is buy the damn game and play it on their system. That's all that it is. That is it. And I can't believe that when this is the first time I have ever got a game that performed absolutely like a piece of shit falling off a shingle. I could not believe it. I said that, you know, like I mentioned, there's nothing that I could do until it actually gets patched. Why is it the developers can't just put their stuff through quality and assurance, man? They don't Q&A this stuff. And like I mentioned before, people can say whatever they want to about Nintendo, but I guarantee you they don't put out shit like this. They don't have shit like this come out. They put their stuff through quality and assurance constantly to make sure it's the best quality product that they can before they release it out. And guess what? It's the same price. Same price of anywhere between $40 to $60 if you're on 3DS or whether you're on Wii U or whatever. This is ridiculous. And I was just so... I was so pissed off today. I was so pissed off to the point... Now, granted, I ended up getting the game at GameStop. Pfft, yeah, I know. I ended up getting it there. It was actually a funny story, as a matter of fact. There was one GameStop that I went to like a couple days ago because I just wanted to browse around. And I went in there and I mentioned to them if they were going to get the game. And they said, yeah, we're going to get it, but we only have one copy. I'm thinking, yeah, okay. And they said, you know, nobody ended up pre-ordering it, so we didn't get many copies of it. I'm like, mm-hmm. So anyways, they were like, well, you want to go ahead and pre-order it, you'll for sure have your copy when it comes out. I'm like, okay. I didn't pre-order it. You know, regardless of whether this person was telling the truth or not, I'm not going to fall into that trap because pre-ordering is bullshit nowadays. It really is when it comes to something like that. It truly is. Like I mentioned before in some of my other videos, if it isn't something physical that's really good, like some extras or something that you would get, then I'm not even bothering with it at all. So anyways, I went today to go pick up the game at a different GameStop because I was going out to see a movie today, so I went to go to a different GameStop. And I asked them if they had it there. They said, yeah, we got some. Okay, you got some. So, anyways, when I went to go ask for it, the dude pulled out like 2, 3, 4 copies or something of the game. I'm like, okay, yeah. This GameStop isn't that much farther away, really, from the other GameStop that I went to too much. So, I mean, and even then, it seemed like nobody had pre-ordered it. So, whatever. But the thing is that when I called GameStop today after I bought it and was trying to actually play it and I couldn't, I was so tempted to the point to where I wanted to take the damn thing back because I was that pissed off. I seriously was. And GameStop won't allow you to take a game back if when you can take the game back if it's open, but you only get trading credit. You know how much trading credit they said that I could get? For just store credit on a $50 game, the first day that it came out, $20. $20 fucking dollars. Oh, and guess how much I would get if they actually gave it to me in cash? $16. Yeah. Just came out. And you get that amount of trading credit. Now, if I didn't open it, I could have took it back and I could have got a full refund, you know. But I'm not psychic, so I don't know how the game is going to perform until I open the damn case and put it in the system. Now, there was at one point, where GameStop actually went ahead and took games back, I guess, regardless of whether they were new or whatever. I know they do that with pre-owns. Like, they give you a week period or something for you to go ahead and take them back. If you don't like them, or if they don't work or whatever. And at one point, that actually happened with new games, because I've had some friends of mine that have had something like that happen with them. I don't know, maybe it was just the people that was working there. I have no freaking clue. But the fact is that I just sat there shaking my head. I was like, okay. And I thought to myself, well, if they don't try to come up with a patch for this thing, I'm just going to have to find out some way to sell it. But I sat there, I was like, no. I was like, all the backlash and all the feedback that I've been seeing for this game, they'll definitely end up releasing a patch. And from what I've heard from someone, the developer's already working on one, so we'll go ahead and see how that goes. I mean, my God, another point. I thought maybe one of the things, if I actually ended up deleting it off of my system and then reinstalling it, that it would have went ahead and played fine. Because, you know, sometimes actually that happens with PC games just as well. If you delete it and then reinstall it, that it'll actually go ahead and start working properly. And I'll just tell you this, PC gamers, console gamers get the short end of the shtick every single time, just as well as PC gamers do. You know, because PC gamers will talk about how when they get console ports, they're really shitty ports over to the PC. Well, today is an example of a console gamer getting a PC port over to the console that was a shitty port. So, with that being said, with console and PC, there's always going to be some type of conflict, regardless of whether it comes to ports or whether it comes down to the developer actually building it from the ground up for that specific system. Or systems, whatever you want to say. But the thing dealing with that is that I'm just kind of sitting here waiting for it to patch. Throughout the times today, I actually went and checked for update to see if there was going to be a new update since my PS4 has been on. But there hasn't been yet. Hopefully that'll be within the next few days or so. I mean, I got so much other stuff to play, it's beyond belief. But one of the things that actually happened to me while I was playing it, well, actually, I should say when I was trying to start playing it, when I went and reinstalled it again and I started it up, I honestly God thought the game crashed because it was loading in the textures. The load times are already long as shit and atrociously long. That when I went ahead and started the game up, I could hardly move. It was like really lagging, slow as shit on a shingle. And then I kind of moved around a little bit and I noticed the textures were slowly coming in. They weren't even coming in. They were trying to come in. All I saw was just nothing but like smooth bricks and stones and whatnot that should have had textures in them and they didn't. And I just sat there. I was like, this is terrible. So when I finally started to move a little bit, it kind of chugged a little bit and I started to move, but I still got that little sickness feeling in my head. Anyways, of course, obviously this is a rant video. I'm going to go ahead and end it now. but that's just the thing, man. These developers, I don't understand why they can't be like, I know all developers and publishers can't be the same, but they need to take a play out of Nintendo's playbook and actually know why Nintendo puts out quality products, because shit like this is one of the things that's pissing gamers off when they go and spend their hard-earned money to be able to go and get a quality product and they get this shit. I'm serious, man. You may have some person out there that could probably only get like a game a month or something, or a game every few weeks, every 3 weeks or something like that, and it could only be that one specific game. So think about the people who ended up coming to go and get this, and then they realize that it wouldn't work worth the shit, and you don't even know when the patch is going to be coming out. Think of how disappointed and pissed off they would have been, or that they probably are, because I'm pretty sure there's people out there that's like that. But then again, developers are just out for money anyways. They could really give a shit less about the players. As long as they're making money off of them, that's all that matters. Sorry to be so negative there at the end, but this is an example of it. And I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, well, maybe they forgot to do it. You mean to tell me a game that already existed on PC, that you could have released at the exact same time on consoles, even if you have to tweak a little things here and there? You mean to tell me that you would not have, you mean to tell me that it would have still been that way? I seriously doubt that. I seriously doubt it. They probably wanted it to be PC exclusive for a certain period of time before they ended up moving it to consoles. Because when it first came out, I heard it was coming to consoles, but it was on PC, but it didn't. And it was a long period of time before it finally came to consoles. So anyways, with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and end this now. Let me get on up here. I really don't know what else to say. So,